Well, I had a unique, comfortable life back at Creekside Christian Academy where I was the athletic director. It's probably 90% Caucasian, probably 10% African American. Our principal, Eddie Johnson, he called me down and it's just, hey man, come now, I want to talk to you. Wasn't interested in being a head football coach anymore. I did my time. I felt I had motivated kids. And in our conversation and walking through the building, I'm saying to myself, Doherty High School needs me. I realized what I was coming into and what I was being faced with. Because I grew up like a lot of these kids here, not having a whole lot. The things that I can offer here at Doherty High School would be more of a bigger ministry than what I had at Creekside. And I decided that this was a ministry and a task that I wanted to take on.
The way you can explain Doherty football program is an abused child. This is a state championship program in the late 90s, but they have been beat down so much that they just looking for something to go wrong. And that's what we had to fight against the whole year.
And so if you look through the history of the head football coaches here, it's been turnover. So these guys need some consistency. They need some discipline, number one, and I think that's the thing that cost us a lot of football game last year.
We had to gut the program, kids that was playing football but really wasn't committed, and we had to weed those folks out.
This program really hadn't had an off-season training, and so here we are in February, and we're in off-season training, and boom, COVID hit us.
Well, the community response has been great. However, I have some deep concerns that the seriousness of the COVID has not been embraced throughout the community. As I have moved around, I see a lot of folk who are not wearing masks, and there have been several events where social distancing was an issue, and the Sheriff's Department has had to break that event up.
One of Georgia's biggest hotspots right now is one of its smaller counties, Phoebe Putney Memorial Hospital in Albany. That's in Doherty County.
Albany ranked 4th worst in the United States in COVID cases per capita.
The hospital ordered what would usually be 6 months worth of protective gear. They burned through nearly all of it in a week.
The common thought here in Albany that it was limited to some folk who had attended a funeral. Just about everybody at that funeral got COVID. Several of them passed away, only to find out that it was much widespread because I was not at that funeral. And I spent 6 weeks in the hospital with that COVID.
So when COVID-19 hits, and we're thinking, what is the football season going to be like? Because that's what my mindset is. That's the foundation that we're laying. That's the thing that we're growing. Then that changes to what about the kids' families? Because we got a lot of people here that are dying.
I was sitting in the office, and next thing I just constantly was coughing. Then my head was hurting. I went and told Coach Gill, I said, man, I'm not feeling right. I need to go to the doctor. And I just gutted it out, but it was 3 other baddest days of my life. I don't wish that on anybody. I had pneumonia the year prior, and it was nothing like this.
Well, when I found out that I had it, I texted my mom, and I told her that I was positive, and I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was gonna be good, because I was young, but at the same time, I was still telling myself, like, anything could happen.
Right at your target, Miguel. There you go, there you go. It was a unique experience to be able to feel that and to look in the eyes of people that have lost family members. That's putting that foot where you need to put it at. Good job. Jamarcus is a very unique young man. His grandpa drops him off every day.
And my granddad, he always been there, and he want to see me
make it to college. Even if I don't make it to the NFL, he still wanted to see me go off to college. He's like the peacekeeper of the whole family.
He told me the other day when I took him home, I said, man, the reason why I play is because of my grandfather.
I had thought it was a joke. I always was playing with my friends, like, when somebody coughed, we were like, they got COVID-19? And my granddad would always tell me, stop going around folks' houses without a mask on and stuff like that, and I never would listen to him. But when my granddad called it, I had to stop playing with it. I was like, whoa, this is real. His heart rate was low, and his temperature was very high. So when the ambulance came in the house, they said, we need you to talk to me, Mr. King. What's going wrong with you? He said, I'm just hurt. My grandma, she's in the room. She was still in there crying, saying that he gonna end up leaving me and stuff like that. I just kept telling her, like, he's gonna be okay. He's gonna end up coming back. We was trying to get to talk to him, but he was on the vent. He couldn't talk like that. He had lost his voice. They took him off the vent, and he couldn't. They said he stopped breathing, and so they had to put him back on the vent. And he was there for 7 months. We basically didn't show no emotions. It was just the girls of the family showing emotion. The boys, we just took it like real mans and kept going, because we knew that if he would have passed away, we would have had to grow up and take care of the whole family. When he got home, he would just say, I'm just so glad to see you again. And just knowing that he was back home, I was just happy to see him. He thought he was never gonna see me when he do come out of the hospital.
In the beginning, I was very fearful of the fact that we were not gonna play football this year. Listening to all the protocol, I thought it was gonna be tough for us to play. And the next thing I started thinking about, if we were not able to play this year, especially here in Albany, because a lot of the surrounding towns had started playing, really was worried about losing our kids. But when we started out, the biggest thing was the safety of the football players, and our superintendent, Ken Dyer, did an outstanding job in kind of slowing us down.
We done had several kids that their parents would not let them come out here at all. We had to convince them of our protocols. Kids, they don't care. They think they invincible, they indestructible, so we gotta protect them against themselves.
Everyone was still taking it as a joke, and I was just thinking, like, you shouldn't really be joking about things like that, because people are actually getting infected and people are dying and stuff. And, you know, my auntie, it hit her real bad. She already has liver problems that she told me that, like, she was throwing up blood and stuff. They were kind of being immature and saying that coronavirus doesn't exist and it's just like something set up by the government. And that just sounded dumb to me. My friends, they were like, bro, you don't need no mask when you be around us. I was like, yeah, I said my granddaddy called it too, and I need a mask now.
Jamarcus, his grandfather had it. When I finally convinced his mother to let him come, I had to go get him. And I said, hey man, you gotta protect your mother. You know where your grandfather in the hospital. When you over here, I'm gonna be watching. You gotta keep your mask on at all times. Once we got over it, they cleared us. We came back ready for practice, and we hit the ground running.
Try it one more time, and then we're gonna see how ready y'all really are. If we got a team, and if we're ready, and if we're gonna fight, what's gonna happen? Win! We're gonna fight! Yeah! And are we gonna win? Yeah! We got a team, told you we got a team. We got a team, told you we got a team, told you we got a team, told you. We're ready! We're ready, told you. We're ready, we're ready, we're ready, told you. We're ready, we're ready, we're ready, told you.
Initially, the community was devastated by the COVID due to the fact that we were ignorant to the severity of the virus, and we had mixed signals about its origin and who it would affect the most. Nobody knew what we were up against at the time. There were some, great issues around that COVID.
I think the pandemic change in our football team really brought us together. I think this virus realized that we're not able to fight it alone.
We're more self-aware. I think we are more considerate of each other as far as protecting one another. And you could probably say that about every high school in Dougherty County because we all done went through the same thing.
I think these young men's lives are going to be changed. I think it's going to form some type of unity with them. That Albany was hit hard from the virus, and a lot of critical things happened. People lost jobs, lives, and so they had an opportunity to live through that. We enjoy winning football games, but at the end of the day, it is all about how we have made these guys to be better fathers, better husbands, better neighbors, and so they can get into the community and grow and make things the way it needs to be.